In this video, we'll talk about utilizing override resource pay. So first, let's open the function. You can find it under Payables, and you can select override resource pay. So you may have instances where you have posted an invoice where maybe you forgot to add the earnings for the resource, so when the invoice posted, there's no pay tied to the invoice. Or maybe you have an invoice that you posted with pay and maybe the wrong rate was selected and the amounts that are paying to the resource are incorrect. So many questions come up. Can we modify or can we edit the actual resource pay before we run payroll, so that way when we do run payroll, the resource will be paid correctly? In both instances, the answer is yes. That's exactly what override resource pay is for. So what you can do in RB9 in this particular function is you'll need the invoice number or job number. So in my case, I have the invoice number, so I'll go ahead and put it in, and I'll click search here. So RB9 will always show you the invoice that you're looking for. It'll show you the resource, and you can see if there's any pay amount associated. This one, in my example, happens to be that this invoice was posted and there's no pay amount tied to the invoice, so the resource is not getting paid for it. Now, it's real easy. RB will show you the order for the invoice and all service items that were billed on the invoice, and you can see that the pay amounts are all zero here. Now every service item is clickable. So basically what I'll do is I will open up each service item that the resource should get paid for. So I'll open up copy here, and I will click edit, and then down here for the pay rate, I can choose either percentage or flat rate. I'm going to choose percentage in my example. Put in the percentage and click save, and that will automatically add the pay amount. If I want to do the rough draft as well, I can go ahead and click on rough draft, edit, and pay rate I'll go ahead and do 70% again, save, and now we can see the total pay is now $220.50 down here, and if you look up here, it's also $220.50 up here. Now another thing to note, this only works if you're trying to do it before you run payroll. If you're running payroll and the invoice is marked to pay for the invoice, you won't be able to edit it because RB thinks that you're already setting it to pay, so you'll have to reset the payroll if you're currently working on it. In my example, if the pay was zero, it wouldn't have mattered because this invoice will never have paid out to the reporter because there was no pay amount tied to it. But once you do that, you can go rerun your payroll, and now this invoice will properly have the actual pay amount for the resource.